Hello friends, welcome to Monday video. Last few weeks we was in Portugal, in Italy. Now time to back to my hometown, to Montreal. This photo I took near my house in Lachine. It's very beautiful view. And you know, no one artist can miss the umbrellas on the street. Well, today we will make umbrella. And like usual, we'll try to be extremely fast. By the way, when I say fast, I mean we have to pick up the most important part to explain our picture. We couldn't paint everything. I'm already making the sketch, so we're starting to paint directly. And the first thing what I want to do, just the shadow behind the umbrellas. Right here. By the way, the plan is to left the umbrellas like a clear paper, and for this I need to paint the sky like a negative space to explain the lights on the umbrellas. For the sky I'm gonna use the mix between cobalt and phthalo blue green shade. That's all what we need to make the light. And because we need the sky just like a negative space, I don't want to spend more time to work on it. So that will be enough. Another one reason why I don't want to paint umbrella except the explain the light here, the paper what I'm using now. This is a Saunders Waterford, one of my favorite paper. And like you know, mostly I'm painting on the arches. And the last few months I'm starting to use more and more Saunders and just falling in love in that paper. This paper a little bit yellowish and I like it. It's look like a very rich and old paper, not just simple white flat. So I love that, and these colors make some good reference for my painting. I will create a few bright details here. That another one umbrellas because that's the something like a restaurant there. And I love that. Do you know the principal difference between one kind of paper and the other kind of papers? For sure, if we're talking about the professional papers. The time then it's going to dry. That's the main reason. For example, if you're using something like a Fabriano Artistico paper, if you're starting to paint wet on wet, you have around 15 minutes. After that, your paper is going to dry. If you take the arches paper, you will have around half an hour or 40 minutes, maybe something like that. If you use the Saunders Waterford, what I'm going to use right now, you have around 1 hour. So that's a long time, then you can play with the pigments and enjoy the process. That's why I like that paper very much. strange when I'm starting to make the shadows first. The reason is I'm planning to change my composition a little bit. That's why I'm starting from the darker part, to be sure what I should do with my trees to rebuild the balance. Like you already know, I do my best to avoid using the masking fluid or something like this. So that's why if I need just the white, I left the white paper. I like to see if my painting have a light inside. in this Saunders Waterford is it's slowly drying, and I have a lot of time to make all my experiments. And that you see that soft greens what we have here, that's magic. So that's why I create that first, the big shapes here, because now I understand what to do with my trees and how big they should be to make the good balance for me. You remember that magic brush, right? This brush makes the trees itself. Not drying, I can use a tiny brush to create the lines inside right now to make my trees look better and believable. So that's because of the perfect combination between good brushes, good paper, and the timing. Okay, we create our cars right now. Last step, like usual, I will take my travel solo brush, tiny, pointy, and going to make some details there. We're talking about just a fast sketch in 15 minutes. I have to ignore a lot of details there and pick up the most important, which help me to explain the picture and nothing more. By the way, do you know why we all the time talking about the 15 minutes? That's interesting. I'm all the time say 15-minute sketch, but I never explain why 15-minute sketch. Maybe it's time to talk about that. Then I'm finished the painting, I will explain your idea of the 15 minutes. Then you starting to make the plein air, painting from reality. Okay, you spend some time to make the sketch by pencil first. Doesn't matter how many time you spend for that, that doesn't matter. But after that you're starting to use the paint. And if we say you painting from real life, plein air, you mean use reality. That's your point of reference. But you know the lights is moving, the sun is moving, the lights is changing. How many time you think you have before the light will be look completely different? 15 minutes. In 15 minutes it will be huge difference between how it's look like before you start to paint and now. That means you have to fit yourself in the 15 minutes. In 15 minutes you will start to paint from your imagination, not from real life anymore. So how to be able to fit in 15 minutes? That doesn't mean what you have to be fast. That's good if you're fast, but that's not the point. You have to pick up the most important part, the part which explain your picture, but you couldn't take everything what you see. That's what I'm trying to say all the time. Almost done. The last step, for sure. Like you see, it was easy to do, because it's a good combination between very nice subject, perfect quality paper, good selection and high quality materials. That's all what we need to create nice artwork, plus a little bit courage. Thank you for watching, and all the materials you will find on my website watercoloronline.com. If you have any questions, please leave me a message or comments and I will be happy to answer. Thank you and see you next Monday. Bye bye.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, give us a like and subscribe to my channel. Bye.